Hi everybody, I'm Andrew for tutorial.tut, and this is the last tutorial where we will finish the whole scene. So let's continue and let's create a sphere and increase the segments to 96. Now let's align it to this element and let's delete these polygons. I will move it a little bit so I can see the object. Let's also delete these polygons here. And scale it a little bit. Now let's align it again and move it back. Let's also scale it like this. Now let's apply taper modifier and change the amount to 0.5 is good. Let's scale it again. And convert it to hexagonal poly. Now let's attach these elements, and we have to bridge these borders, but we can see that this element here is not properly, so let's flip the polygons and bridge them. Let's also apply chamfer. Now let's create another sphere. And delete these polygons. Now let's scale it like this and align it. Now let's select again this element and hit flip. Now let's hit bridge. Let's also align these elements to this one. Now let's create another sphere and change the segments to 18. Let's again delete these polygons and scale it a little bit. Now let's remove this vertex and let's connect these vertices here and change this to edge and scale them. Now let's scale also these vertices. And do the same with this here. Now let's cut these vertices. And extrude the polygons with negative value like this. Now let's apply inset something like 0.4 or maybe 0.15. Point 1 is good, and now let's select also this swoop and apply inset again. Now we have to apply inset also to these polygons. Now let's apply turbo smooth. And using shift and drag, let's move this. But before that, let's change this to none and then move it. Now let's copy this screw. Like this. Now let's select these elements and create a group. Now we have to make a copy. We can match it with this line here. And just move a little bit this hole. Now let's select this element, and using shift and drag let's make a copy and delete these polygons. Let's also move these vertices like this, and remove this hoop. Let's target out these vertices. And let's move this a little bit. Now let's go to isolation mode and apply cap. Now let's connect these vertices. And connect 5 hoops like this, and then just connect these vertices. Now let's select these edges and connect one loop like this, and let's target out these vertices. Now let's exit from isolation mode and copy these elements. We can turn the snaps toggle and match them with this point here. Now let's copy them again. Let's also select these vertices and move them a little bit. So now we can move also this border. And scale it a little bit. Now let's select this group and create another copy. Let's just move it like this. Now let's just move this. Let's hit open and then move this. Now let's do the same with these groups here. Now when we are ready, let's select this and apply turbo smooth like this. Now let's select this elements and create another group. Now let's rotate it and move it like this. Now let's select all these elements and create a group. Let's also create a group with this screen. And now we can place them. So let's change the pilot point to the center here. And let's rotate it like this. Now using shift and rotate, let's make some copies. We can see that we have this problem here, so let's right click and change this to 0.5. Now we can rotate it and it's perfect. Let's just rotate it a little bit. Like this. Now let's select these screens and move them down. Like this. Let's move this here and select these three elements and go to isolation mode. Now let's move this speaker like this. Let's also rotate this. And change the point to the center of the object. And let's scale these elements. Now let's move them like this. Let's actually rotate this with 90 degrees. And using the snap toggle, let's move it to this point. And let's rotate this speaker. Let's change this to 5 degrees. Let's also move this a little bit like this. And rotate the speaker. Now here we can see that the speaker is pretty small, so let's open this group and open also this. Let's just move this a little bit. And also this. Now let's select these elements and go to isolation mode. Let's move these lines like this. We can turn off the turbo mode. And now let's the snaps to go and match these lines. Now let's do the same with this one. Okay, now we can turn on the torus nodes again and close these groups. Now let's go to isolation mode again. And let's scale them a little bit. Now let's move it again to this point here. Actually, let's delete this and change the point to a center here and rotate it like this and make 2 copies. Now let's turn on the snaps to go and move it to this point, so we can use this point here to be sure that is perfect. So let's change the PowerPoint and rotate this. Now let's select all and just deselect the 4 here and let's change the PowerPoint to a center and scale everything. Let's also move the speakers. let's delete this. Now let's scale this again. Or let's just move this a little bit and move again the speakers. Now let's do the same. Now I believe that this is pretty good. Let's just select these elements and move them down a little bit. Let's just rotate this. And again change this. Okay, now that's the whole scene. I hope you like this tutorial. In the next parts, my brother Stefan will show you the rest in Cinema 4D and After Effects. So once again, I'm Andrew for CGTuts, and I will see you next time.